Now that looks good. Okay, we'll give it a try. Okay, chat. Guys, I've never watched. Guys, I usually watch those off stream. I've never watched those on stream. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of context.
xQcL.
This guy like dismantles like footage and interviews of like people who did really fucked up shit.
Mr. Cow.
Like big crimes, like killings or whatever.
Cross the road.
And he kind of goes like bit by bit over like their, you know, the way they talk and what they do and their mentality or whatever. It's kind of interesting. But this one, it says guilty until proven innocent, so I didn't see this one.
With respect to interrogation analysis, it's no secret the benefit of hindsight gives you a considerable advantage when evaluating information. When you know a subject is guilty, it allows you to exclusively look for guilty behavior. The knowledge of outcome highlights the imperatives while stripping away non-essentials, and this allows you to calculate certain things that would otherwise be overlooked by cause of your own doubt. Hindsight is 20/20. Everyone is well aware of this aphorism, and what's fascinating is that it not only applies, but is far more compatible to the innocent than it is to the guilty. The reason for this is because the information you have to scrutinize is reduced when dealing with innocent subjects. When you remove the versatile factors of misdirection and trickery, you're left with relatively straightforward behavior in comparison. Of course, the argument that everyone is different and can react in a different manner has merit. Human beings are unique, and there will always be exceptions to every rule, especially when you take into consideration that trauma can cause atypical behavior. Yet, atypical behavior and guilty behavior are generally distinguished from each other with relative ease. And that brings us to example number 1. 37-year-old Michael Dixon, described by his peers as popular, friendly, but also unassuming and reserved. A self-professed introvert who turned down a job as a trade show presenter due to his fear
Someone said there's a partners, I might have to skip.
of public speaking, and kept his position as a trade show assembler instead. On August 15th, 2003, in Hamilton, Ontario, police were called to report a man breaking into a jewelry store. 2 officers responded and chased the perpetrator from the store down an alley before momentarily losing sight of them. At the same time, Michael Dixon was getting off a bus nearby coming home from work. He was the first person the police saw when coming out of the alley and was then arrested at gunpoint. Dixon voiced his innocence but didn't resist arrest and stated he would help in any way he could. He was taken to the Hamilton police station and questioned 2 hours after his arrest.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Michael. That's okay.
One could advocate this as a common policing misstep if it weren't for the suspect being described as a small white man in the 911 call. As well as not being white, Dixon is 6'3". This detective has either forgotten standard procedure to review the call to dispatch, or for some reason decided to reject it as evidence altogether. Michael is informed the room is being recorded, and then read his rights. He asserts he is willing to speak with a detective and help with the investigation.
Ballsy.
Okay. Why we're here is because earlier tonight you were arrested for breaking into a jewelry store on John Street South. Now, your innocence and guilt in this, quite frankly, isn't an issue. The evidence I have is frankly conclusive and overwhelming. Okay? So I'm not even going to ask you if you did it. What I have to ascertain here is what kind of guy you are.
The subject maintains a forward-leaning posture and keeps his eyes both in contact and on the same level as the detective's. He displays self-confidence and poise, while it's the detective, in fact, who gives off a nervous disposition. What Michael just did is known as a non-verbal challenge in forensic psychology. So let's break it down into components. In the next moment, the detective will shift in his seat to adjust his position, and at the same time break eye contact to look somewhere in this direction. Michael's exaggerated head movement that follows isn't for the purpose of maintaining eye contact. He could maintain it while keeping his head perfectly still. It is in fact to let the detective know he is maintaining eye contact. It's a way of asserting dominance in the exchange. He is telling the detective that he is the more confident person in the room at that moment.
What I have to ascertain here is what kind of guy you are.
Okay.
Whether this is you're like a serial burglar and this is what you're doing all the time, or whether this is a one-off thing because of the power cut and everything that's going on tonight. That's all we're here for.
Okay, I understand your position.
So,
Like I say, I
this is
didn't
so
do it,
weird.
I didn't do
I've seen a lot of his videos. I've never seen interviewers be like this ever before. This is so weird.
it, and you've heard that a million times, I'm sure, in your career. But it's just ask me questions. That's all I can do is answer them, I guess.
I've got no questions to ask you. I mean, why did you
Okay.
do it? That's basically that's my only question.
I'm coming from that position, and since I'm saying I didn't do it, I really don't have an answer for you except to say I didn't do it.
I guess we haven't really got a
Really.
great amount of talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, it's like I said, whether you did it or not isn't up for the discussion.
Okay, well.
It's really not.
You've no doubt come to notice how incredibly tolerant Michael is over the unjustness of the situation. It's the most unusual thing about his behavior, and perhaps what makes him an anomaly with respect to innocent subjects. So before moving
weird.
on to the second phase of this interrogation, we'll show you a more common response from an innocent subject facing similar charges. This is 26-year-old Justin, falsely accused of breaking and entering, first-degree theft, and assault. He was arrested at his home and only read his rights to silence on the way to the police station. The footage will begin before the subject knows what exactly he is being charged with. In his mind, he knows he has done nothing wrong, and at this point is unaware he is about to be wrongfully imprisoned for just over 2 years.
Holy fuck, dude!
Alright, Justin, get that form. You know what I read you earlier? The 19th of February. 2 days ago, so it'll be Tuesday. Alright? About 5, 6 in the morning. Where were you at then?
I was at my mother's house. You call her and ask her. I was downstairs asleep.
Did she know you were asleep at that time?
Yeah.
He doesn't see
Easy.
the interrogators as a threat, but more of an inconvenience. His responses are short and concise. He does not seek approval. He only responds to a question or states a point.
I mean, did she see you sleeping at that time?
Yeah, I don't ever leave. If I ain't doing nothing, I stay at my mother's house. If I'm not working, I'm at home.
You didn't go to labor ready that day or nothing looking for
Tuesday?
looking for a job, yeah. Okay. That morning, house got broken into.
Okay.
The detective's strategy is to reveal the charges in a periodic manner. Getting a confession to one charge at a time is far easier than gaining admission to all of them at once. The plan is to reveal the break-in and
Okay.
robbery charge first, then reveal the assault at a later stage. The detective goes on to explain that the accuser named Candy said she saw him loitering around her house in the evening hours of the night, and a short time later witnessed him break in and steal a multitude of valuable items. The detective then explains
Okay,
that she
Candy.
picked him out of a 12-picture lineup of suspects.
She says you broke in this
No.
apartment. Okay, well tell me why.
Justin is now aware of the burglary charge, which holds a possible 20-year prison sentence due to previous convictions. He will now begin to forcefully assert his innocence, and each time he does so, will bring forward his posture and strengthen his vocal emphasis while making the assertion.
Alright, so I mean, she's saying that I was there before? Is that what she's saying? She's saying she's seen my face before the break-in happened?
Yep.
'Cause I didn't break in her house. I don't know who she is. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know no girl named Candy. None of that shit, man.
Why is she saying that you're?
I don't know why she's saying I don't know why. I don't know.
What were you doing there?
I was not there. I don't know this girl Candy.
Jesus.
The only Candy that I even heard of is this guy I know named Tim Stahl dates her.
The person he just mentioned was the accuser's ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
That's it.
How do you know Tim Stoll?
I grew up with the dude, man.
The accuser's testimony was later picked apart in court. She was caught lying on the stand multiple times, and Justin was exonerated. He was proven innocent not just beyond all reasonable doubt, but essentially beyond all doubt.
The last thing I heard about them two, she had him arrested for domestic violence. That's all I know about this girl Candy. I ain't never went in that girl's house, none of that shit. I didn't do that shit. I did. As God is my fucking witness, I did not do it.
This level of certitude is rarely seen in people who are hiding something of a sinister nature. Even with the knowledge of how the common subject reacts and time to study and rehearse this specific behavior, it would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to replicate it in a convincing manner under these conditions. If you found the most talented actor in the world and asked him to mimic this behavior on a movie set, he would be able to do so in a near-identical manner. Yet if you place that same actor in the real-life situation of an interrogation room, with the prospect of facing decades in prison for a crime he knows he has committed, his acting capabilities won't be anywhere near as effective. The survival instincts mentioned at the start of this video will be nullified by the burden of guilt, and the ability to perform under pressure will be significantly diminished. But to set aside behavior analysis for just a moment, focus solely on this image. Most of you watching at this point will get a sense of integrity from this picture alone, that the subject is both honest and confident in what he is saying, but still uncertain as to what the detectives are thinking or going to do. A mixture of sincerity and fear. The knowledge of outcome will have no doubt influenced this perception, yet what's intriguing is that most of you will have gotten this exact same perception completely void of hindsight. It's a hard thing to accurately explain, but it's something you can just feel. And this instinctive feeling is what the guilty have an almost impossible task at emanating.
And, you know, when you say he didn't have a weapon, he's on the ground, and you put something up on the thing and then gets out. I thought it was a shotgun.
I mean, what are they saying? So I fought with her, so now, I mean, they're saying, okay, I fought with her, so I must have killed her. I mean, come on. I mean, that's, you know.
You're being arrested for soliciting to commit murder. You attempted to hire someone to kill somebody else. And that's why you're here, and that's what you're getting charged with.
Okay, no.
You don't understand, or?
No, I never did that.
Why should I believe you?
Because I'm a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person.
Sure,
I'm a
dude.
low-key guy.
Sure.
Quiet. I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level. I mean, you can, like, if someone yells at me, screams at me, I just take it and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's just a cool conversation to where none of that gets to that height. Because I am not that person.
I ain't never went in that girl's house, none of that shit. I didn't do that shit. I did. As God is my fucking witness, I did not do it. I did not do it, man. I did not do it.
So now we got it clear that you do know a Candy.
No, I don't know the girl. I ain't going in that girl's house, man. God is my witness. I did not go in that girl's house, man. I used to be a piece of shit. When I got out of the fucking penitentiary, I told myself I wasn't going back. I ain't done nothing but work my fucking ass off the entire time I've been out.
Can you prove, other than you saying you did not, is it that morning? What can you tell, how can you prove to me that
he just said it,
you were at home?
All you gotta do is call and ask my mother.
So you're telling me you didn't step foot out of the house?
Not 1 foot.
Tuesday?
Not one.
The detective then goes on to reveal Justin is accused of assaulting the supposed victim during the robbery.
You take a vanity mirror and you hit her over the head with it and you guys fight. And she got injuries.
No, man. Hell no, man. Get her goddamn boyfriend, Tim Stone, in here and question him about her goddamn injuries. Look at that straight right there. This sounds like it's a goddamn thing that fucking her boyfriend, Tim Stone, done fucking done something to her, and now they're trying to put it on me. I know that's what the fuck this is.
And look, that's why we're talking to you, okay?
No, this is bullshit, man, because I've tried everything in my fucking power to stay the fuck out of this goddamn fucking penitentiary shit. I did not do that shit, man.
Okay. That's what we're talking to. We're here to investigate this, okay?
That poor guy, man.
That's why we're asking you all these questions.
I'm sorry for freaking out, man, but I didn't fucking do this shit, man. I'm fucking shaking. I did not fucking do this, man.
Justin had already served 3 years in prison for a robbery in his early 20s. He more than likely knew the reassuring tone of the investigator wasn't a good sign. Although slightly more animated than the average person, this form of aggression is a commonplace response from the innocent being directly accused. He comes off aggressive, but in a defensive manner. He is not being hostile, but highly combative when professing his innocence. His conduct is totally justified considering the circumstance. When facing a considerable amount of time in prison for something you didn't do, this level of anger is warranted. So when compared to the forgiving composure of Michael Dixon, the extraordinary nature of his behavior becomes even more pronounced.
I really don't have an answer for you except to say I didn't do it.
Well, I guess we haven't really got a great amount of talking about. Yeah, it's like I said, whether you did it or not isn't up for the discussion.
Oh, this guy again.
It's really not. There's a number of witnesses.
Great.
One of whom had a video camera.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, that's relieving. That's relieving, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So view the video camera.
I have.
Okay.
That's why your guilt isn't in issue here.
That doesn't even make sense to me. Because if I'm on the video camera, that doesn't make sense. You have a video camera that shows me?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect sense to me.
We'll have to, I guess, I have no choice but to get a lawyer then, if this is the kind of thing you're going to go through with me.
This isn't going to go away. You're charged with breaking in. You will be charged tonight.
Okay.
You will be going to court in the morning.
Perhaps the most upsetting moment, considering the fact that we know this man is innocent. You can see the fear emerge in his eyes as he realizes he won't be going home after this interview.
Charged with breaking in with intent. Okay, that's what's going to happen right now.
We're now given an insight into Michael's introverted personality. He is noticeably afraid of what lies ahead, yet reacts to the situation with reasoning and intuitiveness. Rather than explode into emotion like the more extroverted personality, he instead processes the moment and then responds to it from an analytical position.
Can I ask you something? Okay, are you just making this up that you have a video camera so you see how I react? Because it goes that if you're saying, okay, hear me out for a second, please. If I am guilty, as you believe, because you have me on video camera, then okay, we'll go through the procedure. But I'm saying, I trying to call your bluff here, because since I know I didn't do it, there's no way I can be on the video camera.
Well, like I say, it's not a game of poker.
Okay, well,
I've got nothing to gain from that.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, all right?
You know what? I've got nothing to gain from that either way. Which is why I'm not asking you, did you do it? I'm not trying to catch you out. I've got nothing to gain from that.
Getting a confession void of evidence is in fact excellent for an investigator's career. It's a mark of merit and can accelerate promotion. Michael continues to profess his innocence in a calm and composed manner for a further 7 minutes. The detective then asks that he draw out a map and specify his movements before the arrest. Every detail of his alibi was later proven to be 100% accurate.
Guys,
like I said,
because I'm not like a lawyer, Andy, but without a lawyer at this point, this guy is like facing charges that could happen. Is this not like a risky play to like go into more details, whatever? Because what if he gets one small thing wrong, and they use it against him in court or whatever? Then he's completely fucked on.
On the information that I've got, you're going to be charged tonight with breaking in.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do have a duty to make sure that the truth is, basically the truth is paramount. And the true version of events is paramount, and I have a duty to investigate all of this, and I will investigate. I assure you, I'll investigate this story thoroughly, and hopefully, I'll be able to find something here, which will either prove or disprove, what we've discussed tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Problem is the speed at which this is going.
Yeah.
Like when I was on the ground, I was saying, go quickly to the terminal. I have like 6 or so guys around me, like talk to the bus driver,
right.
I
can't comment on things that haven't been seen, unfortunately. But now I'm
left hanging, right?
Now I'm looking at this. I mean, this is basically on the evidence I've got, this is the only course of events that can take place right now. But I will certainly make sure that this is looked into thoroughly.
Okay,
I
great.
can give you my word on that. That's my duty. That's what I have to do.
Okay, I trust you will. I was just wondering, can I make a phone call? Because I'm supposed to be at work at 8 a.m.
You're not going to be able to be at work, okay? Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be able to, but I like to phone ahead.
I can arrange that that you get the phone call to let someone know that you're not going to be at a place, yeah.
So I'm hanging out in that room till 10? Or
No,
whatever?
we'll be taking you downstairs
Okay.
to a larger custody facility which you have downstairs.
Sounds lovely.
Well, it's not the most pleasant place in the world, but it's only for a few hours.
Okay.
Okay.
This
From
is just
court
weird.
tomorrow, what happens there? I don't know.
Okay, well.
And I will look into all of this.
I trust you will, yeah.
I will.
I trust you will.
No shot become
Make
like
sure you got
this.
the whole picture.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you, I guess.
Okay. You're not in an enviable position, and you know.
I understand the process. I'm not satisfied with it. That's what I'm saying. You know.
And I don't.
And
This
expect
guy's
you're
so
gonna be
calm
happy
and
with it,
reserved.
you
It's
know,
insane.
thinking, I've noticed.
This guy's nothing to do with any of this, dude, and he's about to say, he's about to go sit in jail for hours and be processed and whatever, and he's just chilling.
Respect you, but I know someone sitting in this chair has probably lied to you a million times, right? So I'm thinking, what can I do to convince you? I tried to give you the information. Like,
You've been very good with me, and
I'd lose my
try and treat
shit,
everybody
man.
as an individual.
okay.
My main aim is two things: is that you get your rights
Mhm.
that you're entitled to under the Constitution of Canada,
Mhm.
and that you're treated decently, and that the truth comes out.
The truth eventually did come out, but the suspect wasn't treated decently. He was kept in jail for 3.5 days before a separate investigator looked into his alibi witnesses and checked surveillance of the area in question. He was then exonerated immediately. A civil trial ensued, and Michael was awarded $46,000 in
Not
punitive
enough.
damages.
Fuck
the
off.
interrogating officer and 3 other investigators were all demoted and suspended without pay.
Yo, that is so weird though. 46K? You're just like, well, yeah, it's a lot of money, but dude, like a normal upstanding citizen spending time in fucking jail for something you didn't do, that's traumatic, yo. That sounds like one of the most, like, the scariest thing ever. I enjoy watching. I'm gonna like and subscribe.
It was me and Moxie. We dropped down, they weren't ready. Our aim was motherfucking steady.
Yeah, steady.
We would roll up on that bitch, went scoot scoot.
Scoot scoot.
4 kills, first place. Yeah. Fuck. I had